Hello, my name is Harry Tambuatco. You are with the concluding episode of Talk to Harry. With us, we have attorney, former USEC Joe Calida. He's also a founding member of the VACC, and the topic is crime and corruption. Talking about crime and corruption and the matuwid, putting both together, the ideal candidate would be Duterte, which was your star guest in the VACC awarding. Why Duterte? You were the one who introduced them, and you did quite an introduction, I have to admit.
Why not Duterte? Because, number one, he's a strong leader. Okay?
I'll give him that.
Number two, he's a compassionate leader. If you want details, I can rattle off the details, but I don't think we have time for that.
I have one reservation with him. He does have foul language when he's on the microphone. Nahalata ko. I mean, in broadcast terms, bawal yun eh. Diba? I couldn't believe how many times he cursed on the microphone. But go ahead.
Okay. He's a transformative leader. You know, in the early, late 1980s, Davao City was a no man's land. But he was able to transform the city, which was almost bankrupt at that time, into now one of the safest cities in the world, actually.
Yeah, I heard. 7th, diba? 7th or 12th?
Yes.
In world comparison, world measurement.
And in Asia, we are number 4.
Number 4.
Yes.
In the Philippines, number 1.
In the Philippines, number 1. You know, the crime rate, the crime index there is around 20%. 20.
And the average?
In Manila, it's 47.
Wow, grabe. 47.
Yeah, or thereabouts.
But why Duterte? Number one, he's not... Well, I believe somehow that presidents, people who want to become presidents, have to have the determination from day one to want to become president. I notice there's a lot of backsteps by Mayor Duterte.
Well, you know, he's a unique politician in the sense that he doesn't covet power. And he's very vocal about it. He's very candid about it.
But
he does not covet the presidency. But he said that if there is a moral obligation for him to join the race, he will do it.
So is that a statement, is that clear saying, a clear sign that he will run? Because there is a moral suasion, if not even you and the number of people, even in the newspaper. He is going to run then, even if he's saying he's not going to run for president.
Well, he will be the one to tell it. But my analysis is, you know, Mayor Duterte is a very, very, how do I call this? Before he jumps, he looks at all the possible alternatives. Okay. And remember, he was undefeated. He never tasted defeat in his political career. But the people, I think, are looking for an alternative. Alternative in the sense that in the horizon, those names who are being mentioned are either neophytes,
or shoe-ins,
or just popular.
Or forcing through.
And worse, some of them may have some problems with the law.
Okay, to say the least.
But, you know, I believe Duterte is like a breath of fresh air that will cleanse and deodorize all the ills of society if he becomes president. You know why?
Why is that?
Okay. First, he has the courage.
Matapang. Agreed.
Yes, and that is one of the prerequisites of leadership. You know, John Maxwell, when he was here, he was interviewed and he said, courage is the core of great leadership. Number 2, a leader must have a track record of success. Now, if you go to Davao, that is success personified in terms of good governance. Businesses are thriving. There's an economic boom. There is good peace and order there. You can, you know, walk the streets at night and you will not be molested or mugged. The taxi cab drivers are very honest. There are no victims of firecracker blasts in New Year or Christmas. You cannot drive recklessly because of the speed limits.
May
And
disiplina.
the people willingly accept this governance of Mayor Duterte because they know it's for their own good.
But country leadership in the whole, not just of the city of Davao, requires a number of competencies. We've got the China row.
Okay.
We've got the international China versus America right here in our backyard. That's another issue other than intrusion. We've got the Saba issue. We've got the very controversial and very divisive BBL issues that being forced. We've got the very controversial and now Smartmatic pushing through and succeeding, and for some reason pinching the COMELEC and succeeding. Ang dami natin issues po.
Okay.
And yet, to talk about these complex competencies, merong kakayanan ba po si Mayor Duterte? Pagdating doon sa mga
Yes.
issue na po yun.
Definitely. People don't know that Mayor Duterte is a lawyer.
You know, I heard
He
that.
was a San Beda
Beda,
graduate.
Tsaka nag-prosecutor pala yan,
Well,
matagal.
he was a second assistant prosecutor at that time. He was supposed to be the city prosecutor had he not changed his career into politics.
Oh, because of his mom. Ayun ang
Yes.
nanay niya eh.
But you mentioned about the issues
Yes.
like BBL, the
But
South
for
China
the
Sea.
BBL, he's pro-BBL. I was taken aback by that.
No. It's like this.
That's what I understood.
He was pro-BBL minus the unconstitutional provisions.
Then it's not BBL. Ibang-iba na eh.
Correct. That's why he offered the alternative of federalism. So that if
That's
BBL
right.
cannot pass muster,
Federalism.
then federalism will be the plan B.
That's kay Dante Jimenez yan with Bicol eh.
Yes, because if you give so much to this particular region,
Dapat lahat.
why not give it to the other regions? And that is the essence of federalism.
Okay. So you think he has the competencies when it comes
Definitely.
to that? So you've addressed the BBL. How about the China intrusion and the looming war between America and China, which will blow the world apart?
You know, when Mayor Duterte was guest speaker at the Asia CEO Forum, and he was the first politician to be invited there, he discussed a lot of international issues like the South China Sea, China. the
May vision siya.
Yes.
Solutions.
China becoming an imperialist
Yes.
and the hegemony that will be created because, you know, he even talked about the collapse of the economy in Greece.
Ahead of time.
Yes,
Which
that
is now happening. Yes.
Russia and China might, you know, help Greece
is-
so that they can gain a foothold in Europe.
Correct.
I haven't heard any of the other presidentials speak about those things. So,
Agreed.
Mayor
good point,
Duterte
good point,
is
good
the
point.
first to discuss on these political issues outside of the territory of the Philippines.
Has
So
he-
I'm proud of my mayor.
So, yung tingin nyo, ang competencies ni Mayor Duterte, talagang may kakayanan siya as president
Yes.
of
becau-
the country, not
Yes.
not Davao.
Yes. He has. And
How about the dynasty issue? He's got his daughter and then he's got his son. Diba? Now the son is the vice mayor. The
Okay.
daughter was known, I remember, she figured in some issue where she slapped somebody.
well, you know, Harry, in the Constitution, sovereignty resides in the people, and all power emanates from them. If
Correct.
the people want the Duterte family to
will
run
emanate from them.
and win in Davao, then it's the business of the Davao City electorate.
So hindi natin pinakailaman dapat yun. Dapat we should give him the benefit of the doubt of what he did was correct.
Yes.
Even though it was a bit extrajudicial. Nananampal ng tao.
How do you define extrajudicial?
Outside the law. Well, it's illegal to go up and smack anybody. You could be hit for...
No, he doesn't smack anybody. He tells the police to implement the law without fear or favor, and the police do it.
Then he backs them up if they get
Yes,
into
and he
trouble.
protects his people.
Doon nag-iiba.
Right.
Doon nag-iiba. It's interesting. Mayor Duterte, I've asked that he be a guest one day. I hope he does. I think Mayor, he's taking a 2-week break because he's been going around.
Well, he was
Yung
dancing.
edad niya, kamusta yung edad niya? He's 72.
70.
70.
Yes.
Hindi pa naman kaya pa.
Kaya pa, in fact, he was dancing in Vice Ganda's show last night.
Naging guest ba siya
Yes,
kagabi?
he was a guest.
I'm impressed. He allowed himself to be under Ganda, under that guy. But then again, we're going to have to end the show. Attorney Calida, what message would you like to give our viewers when we go back to the issues of crime and corruption, the current DOJ situation, and basically corruption in the country today? Ano pong message po?
Well, my simple message is, let's put a strong leader to head this government. That's it.
Straight to the point. In other words, lagay natin si Duterte. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed our program. We had Ferdinand Marcos for a good 20 years. His first 4 years and his re-election gave him more powers, and he was able to actually stabilize and get a foothold of himself being in authority. The first couple of years of martial law proved to be correct. Ang kailangan ng bayan, sa pag-uunlad ng bayan, disiplina ang kailangan. And everybody toed the line. It was correct. But then, the issues that came on was the problem with absolute authority or absolute power is when it corrupts absolutely. There are so many words and so many phrases that can depict one candidate from another, one hero to another grafter. A hero one day can be the problem the next. Today, Pinoy is revered to. In less than a year, he'll be incarcerated. The same thing happened to GMA. But then again, GMA, everybody knew where she was going. The last few years, she had very bad media support, so I guess they pilloried her and made her look as a demon, and today is suffering as that demon. The problem is, do you and I know what is the truth? Do you and I even know what we want? Is it the truth that we want? You know, as the movie goes, can we even handle the truth? I'm not sure I want to answer that, because really that part is really a personal issue between you, your country, together with your family. My only request is, I hope you are learning, understanding, and getting informed with what I do here on TV. Hear me sitting right in front of you while you're sitting there watching us. All I ask is critical thought. And then from there, make your decision. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harry.
You are what you watch.